the morning when I went out to my machinery and I saw the smoke sort of rising up, and right away, of course, on Labor Day, we're always a little bit extra alert, and saw the fire smoke, and I realized by the color of it and by the quantity of it that it was going to be a very serious day. So I put on my fire shields on my machine, and
what are those?
Well, to keep the embers and stuff when you're getting in close with fire, your biggest vulnerability is if a piece of material would fall inside of your engine compartment and start something on fire, because when you're using machinery like this to fight fire, it's like taking off in an airplane. Once you make your approach, you're completely dependent on the functionality of your equipment, or you could become very desperately trapped. And so, thank goodness, by some strange providence, I had just purchased this machine not 15 days earlier, and it was extremely well maintained, and it was completely equipped, and the only thing that was required was to put on the fire shields and get some drinking water and maybe a snack. And so I headed out in the direction of the fire, and I have to pass by the fire department, and I'm not a regular member of the fire department, but I'm having an extended service to the fire department in emergency situations, and they came out and offered me a radio set, and I went across the road over towards where it was coming from. When I got there, the neighbor's house everybody was like congregating there, and they were looking off down into this very deep canyon. It was totally full of smoke, and we were hearing things like explosions now and then, and people were saying, are those propane tanks or car tires or whatever, you know. And everybody, the fire department would say, you know, that's on the other side of the canyon. And so some photographers showed up, and we were taking a look over, and I stopped for a second. I said, listen. And what it sounds like is like you're in the studio theater, you know, and they turn on the speakers like that, boom, like that, boom. And then sort of like bees. So I turned to one of the photographers and I said, it's coming. So we started walking back, and before we got 10 feet, people were picked up and they were on the run. Came back to the house where the people there lived, and they said, well, the fire department said it was on the other side of the canyon, and I said, you got a 50% chance. I'd say get your pictures in your books, your financial information or whatever you need, and get out. And they sort of heard me, but not really heard me. And of course, I figured get in my machinery and leave, because the false sense of security. And so I rolled out the driveway.
Can you explain this machinery to him?
What's that?
Can you explain this machinery?
There's a picture that's circulating around.
Oh, okay.
It's a big tractor that's got a cab on it. You can carry about 50 or 100 seconds worth of breathing air inside the cab with you, so you can actually move into some pretty intimidating smoke without being concerned.
It is for cutting a fire break? Is that what
it's not specifically for that, but it doesn't have rubber tires, so it can actually stand some pretty good heat. So I roll out the driveway, and it's about a quarter mile between their place and the main road, and as I sort of got partway down there, I stopped and looked back, and very close to where their house was, a chute of chimney had come up from the canyon real deep. It's climbing the hill. It goes really fast when it climbs a hill like that. And there was about a 500-foot column of coal black smoke that just extended right there, and boiling out of it were all these like mushrooms of flames everywhere. It was a very pretty scene. But it was obviously meant that there was a fairly good chance that if they didn't already start leaving, they wouldn't be able to leave, because the heat is so hot it will just like incinerate everything around it. And thank goodness, as I was rolling out the drive, I saw the people coming, and I watched them, pulled over, watched them one at a time, and saw the look on their faces. Priceless. If you could capture that, a cinematographer would love to see that, because they had seen like something that really touched them.